And happy Friday, everybody. Welcome on in. Sit down. We got a great show for you. Got some great stories. For the next hour, I'll be guiding you along, including one about the Tiny Desk concerts. And if you haven't heard about these, they're really cool. Some big names show up to play, and cinema on the Kenai Peninsula as well, and where to go for popcorn and a flick when you're in Homer. That's today's all-good news story. And you'll notice I'm kind of alone here. Someone's missing. But Jackie is with us, but she is down in Girdwood for the annual Forest Fair. How was traffic getting down there, Jackie?
Well, it actually wasn't too bad on the drive down, so the forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Jackie. Here are your top 4 headlines at 4. Juneau police have arrested a suspect in a death investigation. 44-year-old Andre Lawrence is suspected of shooting and killing a 23-year-old man. The body of the victim was found yesterday night off Cinema Drive in Juneau with a gunshot wound. The Lawrence was detained this morning. He's being charged with murder and being held at the Lemon Creek Correctional Center without bail. And Alaska state troopers have identified the remains of a woman found upriver from Mimonic in western Alaska. The body of 40-year-old Kimberly Odeman was found at the end of last month. She had gone missing from Marshall around mid-June. The state medical examiner's office determined she drowned, and troopers are still looking into circumstances of her death. And a man serving a sentence in Idaho has been indicted in an Alaska cold case investigation. 36-year-old Keenan Keeves has been indicted on murder charges for a 2011 shooting death in Houston. The Alaska State Troopers Cold Case Investigation Unit reopened the case last September. Keeves is already serving a 15-year sentence after shooting his wife and 3-year-old child last year. And the price of U.S. postage stamps is going up on Sunday. In just a couple of days, first-class stamps will go from 63 cents to 66 cents. The Postal Service says the increase is necessary to offset rising operating expenses. The agency says they expect to lose $4.5 billion this year. And it was just announced, and Jeff Curtis, the new CEO of the Alaska State Fair, is already in Alaska and on the clock. Carly Schreck caught up with the new man in charge this morning at the Palmer Fairgrounds.
I cannot wait to get started. Being the new CEO of the Alaska State Fair is an incredible honor. Yeah, I'm a 25-year veteran of the events industry, and I ran the Portland Roast Festival as its CEO. It's Portland Roast Festival Foundation is a private nonprofit that produces one of the largest festivals in the country. Draws about 1.2 million people over 3.5 weeks. So got a lot of experience in bringing people together in a community celebration that I hope to integrate that experience, which is already happening up here in Alaska. The Alaska State Fair Board of Directors was doing a national search, both looking for candidates both here in Alaska as well as in the lower 48. And fortunately, I was selected and started my work just yesterday. So a process for sure, a visit up here, Zoom interviews in person, but at the end of the day, here I am, ready to get to work. Yeah, this fair is, first of all, it's incredibly strong fair. It's built an incredible entertainment concert series. It's got a great vendor culture. It's got a great infrastructure and facilities. So Jerome and the board and the staff, I'm inheriting a very, very solid foundation that I look to grow the organization, but do so that fits Alaskans. And I think that's really important, that it fits Alaskans' culture and way of life, gives them something that they're proud of, makes it special for them. At the same time, we'll welcome the world to come up here from the tourism perspective.
And here we go,
I want to grow the organization, grow the property out here, and do so with a mindset of this is about Alaska. This is the Alaska State Fair. Make people very proud of it.
Yeah. Turns out the Tiny Desk concerts are at an actual tiny desk. The stars who have played to dozens of staffers at NPR and even more through the radio. That's up next.
You're going to hear interpretation.
Happy Friday, everybody. Alaskan singer-songwriter Quinn Christopherson won this contest, and Maggie Rogers was featured there with a song called Alaska. NPR gives concerts in their offices at a tiny desk. Skylar Henry talked with some of the featured artists and the creators.
You're watching Alaska's Weather Source.
Gray clouds are going to clear up. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, well, you might want to try the Forest Fair in Girdwood. That's where we find our own Jackie Purcell. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Dave. I'm bopping to the music that's on one of the stages. Nicer weather for tomorrow, and I just give them a thumbs up.
All right. Well, Jackie, thanks a lot. And it looks like you're having fun out there. And now you're bringing good news, which is even better, right? And a nice hat.
Yes.
Nice
yes.
hat. All right. Thank you, Jackie. We'll check in with you in a little bit. Swifties spend a lot of time waiting in line, whether they're getting a tattoo before a concert. What?
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Hey, everybody. Deadheads, parrot heads, Swifties, the fanatics who love their artists. And as Jeannie Most reports, some of them are trading that moniker in to become legends. Hollywood. Well, maybe Homer, Alaska style. If you want to see a new movie in the quaint fishing town, you head to the Homer Theater, and if that's not enough, there's a cornucopia of reasons to pop on over. Here's today's All Good News. You might say Jamie Sutton is always walking the red carpet.
Maybe. So how are we doing?
The owner of Homer, Alaska's only theater
If you haven't tried Junior Mints in the freezer, you're really missing out on.
is a human spotlight on positivity.
I will walk along and people say, oh, Jamie, hi, you know, geez, thanks for the theater. Really fun, really cool.
The one-screen theater boasts first-run movies.
And we have the best popcorn in Alaska, if not in America, by God.
Popcorn so good, this lady came in just to get some for her son's birthday, of course topped with
nutritional yeast.
Jamie bought the Homer Theater
20-something years ago, her mom, who was living in our cabin, called and said, hey, the movie theater's for sale. And my wife said, we gotta buy it.
The semi-retired lawyer just loves movies.
People love going to the movies. If they see people they haven't seen before, they get to go in. It's on the big screen, shown surround sound.
Jamie took me upstairs to go behind the scenes
This is where it happens.
to see a state-of-the-art digital projector and the secret door. Oh, in this building?
Easily assembled building that the Army used a lot during the Second World War. And
But these beams, supports, and stage that have been here a long time are so much more.
the theater in Homer has always been an institution and an integral part of the community. It's where graduations were held on that stage.
This is a real screenplay to so many of Homer's most memorable life moments. So getting a ticket to see a first-run movie?
A treasure, because people love the movies.
Even this cool robot in the small lobby, it's history.
Well, it was the old projector, yeah, and a guy who's a pretty talented sculptor and metal worker.
And a lot of Homer high school kids have done their turn as working concession actors in the Homer Theater, which is literally the only game in town.
I mean, it's 80 miles to the next movie theater, so we provided movies, still provide movies, to the 14,000 people that live in Homer.
This rustic facade and the marquee is something Jamie and his wife added when they bought the place.
Marquee's right outside that window. In order to get to the marquee, you have to climb out that window and on the roof and then over here, so some young fit fellow gets to do this.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, so I grabbed a few letters and headed out to spice up the marquee a little bit.
I just thought it'd be fun to have one more thing up here.
Did we get the marquee fixed?
Ta-da! The Flash and all good.
So Jamie and his Homer crew want you to have an award-winning experience, and they do it with smiles and movie magic.
They love the movies. It's being in the movie business, right? It's being in show business, and it's fun because you're making people really enjoy themselves.
With Homer Hollywood smiles and stars in their eyes, Jamie and the Homer Theater are
I don't know. It's fun doing it. Fun doing it.
the All Good News. Oh, man. Well, what a nice guy. Big thanks to Jamie and his longtime manager there you saw, Colleen Carroll. And Ridge was the young man, smiling guy who was making the popcorn. Jamie says COVID was hard on the movie business, but people are coming back and for the movies and that popcorn with butter and nutritional yeast. And if it sounds weird, I tasted it, amazing. And that's why that lady came in just to get some for her son, just the popcorn. All right, here's Jerika Duncan with what's coming up on CBS Evening News.
On this Friday night, we go on the road, meet the 11-year-old with an old soul who is full of surprises. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
It's All Good with Dave Allgood on Alaska's news source is sponsored by Alaskan family-owned and operated Continental Auto Group, serving Alaskans since 1971.
If you believe
People collect many different things, teapots, art, but as Ashley Wheel reports, one man sees beauty in pencils.
Never dreamed I'd be getting tree that you can find through these little sticks of wood.
Here's an update since that counting happened. Bartholomew says he's confident he passed the 70,000 mark to secure the new world record. Lucky guy. They caught it with their hands. What am I talking about? Well, it might be a record. The gigantic catfish that got noodled in Texas. That's good. Okay, it might have been a little easier with a dip net. They call themselves noodlers. Hand fishermen in Texas wrangled a nearly 100-pound catfish. Noodling is a method of fishing in which an angler uses their hand or foot to tempt a fish. Once the fish clamps down, the angler then grabs it with their bare hands. They explained how they put on their scuba gear, jumped 14 feet deep into the hole where they found her, and she was not happy. Who would be? The 56-inch long fish put up quite the fight.
And that's kind of the goal on these fish, is to let them bite you and you grab them by the mouth and pull them out. But on a fish this size, you know, it was biting us and just kind of shaking us like a rag doll and shaking us loose. So it took us some time. It whooped both of us bad, but we got her controlled finally.
Wow, this could be the biggest catfish ever noodled and weighed on a certified scale. White said they're waiting on paperwork confirming their record, and I don't know about you, but I love fried catfish. All right, bride and a side of fries, please. Now McDonald's is catering weddings in Indonesia. For just $235, you can get 100 chicken sandwiches or 100 4-piece McNuggets. A tailor-made welcome, a half a car that drives, and a bird shows up and hogs the camera. Oh, he's a ham. That's coming up next on CBS 5 at 4. Don't go anywhere.